together with me in that endeavor. Honorable Speaker, before I go into the meat of the matter, permit me also to thank the Council of Governors under the leadership of Dr. FCPA Abdullahi Ahmed for what I saw on their part in terms of the leadership they are giving the council, and particularly the chair himself. We had several meetings. The most important, Honorable Speaker, was at the Council of Governors offices. And by the way, it was clear from their attitude and ours that the venue where we were meeting to take up these important matters, as people favored to be national leadership now, away from the court, was very pleasant and was commendable. Honorable Speaker, having said all that, let me also thank the chair of the departmental committee in the National Assembly in charge of roads and infrastructure, the Honorable George Kariuki, and the membership of that committee. Not only, Honorable Speaker, for joining us in those endeavors to resolve these matters, which ultimately we agreed required the intervention of this Parliament. And I'm saying Parliament to include the National Assembly, Honorable Speaker, and the Senate, and he joined us through all those meetings. I also want to thank that committee, Honorable Speaker, that because of the urgency of this matter, the committee put aside every work they were doing, Honorable Speaker, to undertake those constitutional requirements under Article 118 regarding public participation, and they did very detailed and expeditious public participation. I've read their reports. I believe the members, because of the importance of this matter, have also read it and benefited a great way from the suggestions they are making, not only in supporting this important bill around the maintenance of roads across the country, but also by way of the improvements they are suggesting. And at the right time, Honorable Speaker, we will be able to listen to the thoughts they are proposing and agree. Honorable Speaker, despite all those efforts, a judgment was ultimately delivered by the High Court of Kenya in Petition 423 of 2024. That judgment faulted the two bills we are seeking to bring amendments to by way of this bill. And Honorable Speaker, that judgment says largely two things. That these two laws we are seeking to amend currently, although they are dealing with matters of road maintenance fuel levy, which should be used, Honorable Speaker, to maintain all roads across the counties, across the country, do not include the county governments or the counties as also beneficiaries of the funds which come from that levy for purposes of the maintenance of the roads, which are classified and fall within the remit of the counties. And so the Honorable Court says, Honorable Speaker, that that position in the laws we are seeking to amend in terms of Section 47 of the Kenya Roads Act, Honorable Speaker, is unconstitutional because it runs afoul both the principle of devolution, which is a national value under Article 10, Honorable Speaker, and to which we've dedicated a whole chapter in the Constitution to ensure equity, and particularly equitable development. The court also said, Honorable Speaker, that the classification of the roads to the extent that it did not accord with the principles of devolution is also improper and constitutional, null and void. And so the court concluded, Honorable Speaker, that Section 6 and Section 47 of the provisions of the substantive laws we are seeking to amend by this law are unconstitutional, Honorable Speaker, null and void. Most importantly, because the court gave in that case I've cited, Honorable Speaker, 4 substantive orders. And we have to thank the court because the parties who took the National Assembly and the Senate and other roads agencies to court actually sought 13 orders, including orders for costs, but essentially 12 very substantive orders. The court made an order number D, and this is the one order I want to draw the attention of the members to. Having found that those provisions were inconsistent with the Constitution and therefore were null and void, the court said there shall be no allocation of funds from the road maintenance fuel levy fund. That does not include the county. That does not include the counties. And so disbursement of monies must include the counties because, as I've said, devolution is not just a national value and principle of governance, but it's also a matter so important for ensuring equity that we've dedicated a whole chapter of the Constitution to that matter, Honorable Speaker. And so that is where we are. As expected, Honorable Speaker, this matter was taken to the Court of Appeal by the National Assembly, by the Legislative Caucus, when it was remitted to them by your Office for Intervention, Honorable Speaker. And Honorable Speaker, there is an appeal. This is Civil Appeal number E427 of 2025, in which we are contesting on behalf of the National Assembly and the aggrieved Kenyans the declarations of the court. Within that appeal, Honorable Speaker, we did seek orders from the court of a conservatory nature, suspending the operation of the judgment until that appeal is heard on its merits and determined. Honorable Speaker, I want to report to the House, and it is already known, that that application, which was presented to the Court of Appeal for order suspending the judgment, was allowed by the Court of Appeal. And I want to thank the Court of Appeal. In public interest, it was so allowed because, Honorable Speaker, those sections which we are seeking to amend now and which have been the subject matter of those litigations, if the judgment was not suspended, those provisions were going to derail and undermine the operations of the roads agencies we've established under these statutes completely. And we are going to secure that even if legislative interventions were made, Honorable Speaker, as we are seeking to do, Honorable Speaker, no road was going to be maintained in that intervening period. So I want to thank them. But I want to emphasize, Honorable Speaker, that though the Court of Appeal gave that order of stay of enforcement of the judgment in terms of all those substantive orders, that order of stay was only given for a period of 12 months, beginning July, when the order was issued. So what it means, Honorable Speaker, is that if the appeal is not heard and a favorable determination made by July next year, the bad situation for which stay was sought and given by the Court of Appeal was not given. Honorable Speaker, I have absolute confidence in the success of the appeal that is pending before the Court of Appeal, filed by the National Assembly and the aggrieved roads agencies. And I have no doubt in my mind, Honorable Speaker, even as I move the consideration of this bill by the House, that there is a chance, and a very high chance and probability, that that appeal must succeed. But Honorable Speaker, there is a good reason as to why we are favored to be in leadership position at this point in time. There is a good reason, Honorable Speaker, as to why Kenyans chose us, out of the 55 million Kenyans in the country, to be in this arm of government whose core mandate is to legislate. And so I want to confirm, Honorable Speaker, that this bill is being brought not to concede that the appeal will not succeed, but as a point of leadership confirmed by those previous meetings we've had with even the members of the Council of Governors under the leadership of Dr. Ahmed Abdullahi, and of course the other meetings and interrogations, to do what is right in public interest for the people of Kenya in spite of what other processes could be there. Honorable Speaker, that therefore now brings me to the substance of this bill. It's a very short bill. We are effecting amendments to a number of provisions in the Kenya Roads Act and in the Kenya Roads Board Act. Honorable Speaker, if you look at clause 2 of this bill, and I know because of its importance, all members have looked at it, we are seeking to amend the current section 2 of the Kenya Roads Act, which appears to date to be only speaking to national roads. I understand that is so, Honorable Speaker, because that law was enacted well before the current constitution. And it is something that needs to be cleaned up. If you looked at the 4th schedule of the Constitution, the categories of roads in the country are national trunk roads and county roads. And so we are making it clear that these laws, to be in conformity with the Constitution, Honorable Speaker, cannot be restricted just to national roads as is the case now, but must now have a category of national trunk roads falling within the remit of national government roads, or roads to be maintained by national government, and then county roads. Honorable Speaker, at clause 3, we are dealing with the matter of classification. And this is the substantive amendment to the contested current section 47 of the Act. And so we are clearing that in line with the judgment and to the extent agreed by the House of Parliament, Honorable Speaker, the new roads classification will accord with the first schedule of this bill so that we can carry the entire country aboard. And Honorable Speaker, if you go to the first schedule, you will see, Honorable Speaker, those various categories which have been existing in the law we are seeking to amend, and the proposed new categories. So we are proposing a category AS and category A and B to fall under national government. The description is there. Honorable Speaker, I've looked at the report of the departmental committee in charge of the subject matter, and I have noted they are proposing the crunching together of AS and A into one road category. It will be considered by the House at that point in time. Honorable Speaker, at the level of national government, we also have those roads which are falling within cities and urban areas or leading into critical facilities within urban centers. And so you see under the first schedule at page 788, Honorable Speaker, a category A2 for urban roads. Again, they are categorized as A, U to signify it being within urban jurisdiction, category B, U, and CU. In terms of rural roads, Honorable Speaker, falling within the mandate of the national government for maintenance, at page 789 of the bill, there is category C, which has not been amended much. It is what is currently existent, Honorable Speaker. But honorable members, I want to alert you to a new category being proposed, by myself on behalf of the Legislative Caucus, Category SP, Special Purpose Roads, and Category SR, Security Roads. The Special Purpose Roads are described as roads providing direct access to places of specific national, social, or economic importance, including industrial and commercial areas and government institutions, such as schools, hostels, if they were to be national government referral facilities falling within the remit of national government, prisons, government housing, and such national government facilities. And honorable members, I confirm this is a very important category that we are introducing. We've had cases where if we go with the existent classification, then very many schools, especially schools in rural areas, would not have access roads. We also have roads which are classified in the manner that they are classified currently. But Honorable Speaker, you may be having a school between a national government road and a county government road. Worse still, Honorable Speaker, you may have a situation where a river is also cutting between those two roads. If we do not create a category that can allow the Kenya Rural Roads Authority, Honorable Speaker, to construct things like box culverts, or what we call bridges in common parlance, Honorable Speaker, to connect those schools and make them accessible, Honorable Speaker, we will have a situation where those national government facilities not falling within the remit of clear classification in terms of the road networks in the country currently may not be accessible. Honorable Speaker, we've been told by the CS in charge of National Treasury that since independence, it is now some 63 years later, that the national government is doing a box culvert or a bridge across River Tana. The children of that area, the children of Kenya, Honorable Speaker, have been crossing that river, and we know that this river is highly infested with crocodiles, risking their lives just to get education for 63 years. We are saying, Honorable Speaker, that if funds were to be available, such a road would be done even if it is not linked directly, Honorable Speaker, to a national government road or a road falling within the remit of the county, so that the children of Kenya, wherever they are, and the people of Kenya can, Honorable Speaker, access those critical facilities. Honorable Speaker, in terms of security roads, we are leaving its determination, Honorable Speaker, to the ministry that will be in charge of internal security. I've been in that committee, Honorable Speaker, for very long. And I can confirm that the last time I visited, Honorable Speaker, Laikipia, there is this big forest where cattle rustlers, take animals to. It's called Mukogodo Forest. And then once the animals are inside there, you will be told even police cannot dare enter that forest. The rustlers will do whatever they want with them. And in our assessment, if such a road were to be categorized as a security road, that is a road that would be easily, fall under this classification. And so the funds would go to create a road through there. Honorable Speaker, if you go to northeastern Kenya, the main reason we have AIDs, the explosive devices, is that these terrorists normally dig, just the maram areas and plant the explosives there. Okay? And we know the coast as a nation where even our security personnel are moving and they are all overturned and killed instantly. We are saying that under this category, places like Northeastern, places like Boni Forest, places like areas along the Indian Ocean which are problematic with these people, beyond the other categories which fall within national government, Honorable Speaker, and which fall within the counties, those roads can be done for better security. We have the case, Honorable Speaker, of Shakahola. And let me say, Honorable Speaker, we visited Shakahola when the tragedies there and the atrocities which were being committed against Kenyans there, started. Honorable Speaker, it is so vast. Let me say on the mic that if we just did some security roads across that vast, thorny area, those cases would not be there. But currently, the area is so vast, it is so large, it is so big, it has those thorny trees we've been struggling to eradicate, so vast that once you push people in from the road coming from Majilagobaya through, Honorable Speaker, you cannot hear what is happening to a Kenyan inside there. No wonder we are dealing with radical extremism, violent extremism, with even integration of religion. But you have people in court, but the thing is continuing. And you've had people, honorable members, asking, where are the neighbors when all those Kenyans are being killed? And I can tell you, the numbers of Kenyans who have died in such a place, the numbers you hear may not be the entire number of Kenyans who have been killed and have decomposed there. Such places need security roads because it becomes a security necessity for purposes of intervention. So, Honorable Speaker, though all the classifications in terms of the county roads are DE, but we've included DU, you had indicated, honorable members, means urban, and EU for roads falling within the current D and E under the remit of the counties, but falling within urban areas like Homa Bay town, like, other cities, so that we don't just have, either the national government or the county doing roads without considering also urban areas. And I think this is a very good category, because if you were to look at even Nairobi, you will be giving money to Nairobi County under the systems we establish, Honorable Speaker, but you'll end up with the danger that the governor may tell you we are not doing Maram Road, in which case these monies may not end to the direct use. And subject to such improvements as the members and the committee will recommend, and the House may agree and resolve, Honorable Speaker, highly commend that categorization. Honorable Speaker, we have introduced clause 47A. And clause 47A, what we are doing, Honorable Speaker, is to place specific, responsibilities to the counties. We are saying, Honorable Speaker, that unlike the equalization fund and other funds, we will not just send money to the counties there and they do nothing about it. And so a number of proposals are being made under clause 47A to clarify what responsibilities the county governments will have and shoulder for maintenance, rehabilitation, and development of county roads within the prescribed national standards and policies. Honorable Speaker, this is critical. We had cases being reported from some counties, I'm happy it does not include Homa Bay, where you have the Constituency Roads Committee under Kera Dasa Road, but a county, instead of doing roads with the funds it receives, the county, Honorable Speaker, just employs people who are, taking notes of what roads are being done. And the road is being done by the Constituency Roads Committee under Kera, or Kera, Honorable Speaker, at something like 5 million. When you look at records and you saw those processes in the Senate, Honorable Speaker, you hear on the same roads, our county also spent 50 million, nearly 10 times what Kera spent without doing anything. I can tell you, not in Homa Bay. Homa Bay is the best county currently. Top class county. And a female governor who is the best in this country currently. Yeah, Honorable Speaker, Honorable Kajwang is a son of Homa Bay. He has a polite way of distracting me. and we've dealt with it. Yes, Honorable Speaker, we are putting clear responsibilities, and there are a whole array of them. So that unlike equalization fund, which you send, and you were sending them here the other day, you have no follow-up system in terms of what is being done. We now want the counties to create even a department in charge of roads, employ qualified people there. An account will be opened, Honorable Speaker, with the central bank. This money goes, and for audit and accountability issues, it is very, very easy. Honorable Speaker, at clause 47, we are dealing with road signage, and I think it is tied to the processes we did. We need it to be clear, Honorable Speaker, that when there is... I thought it was 30 minutes.
You can proceed. Give him more time.
Because I'm just going to the meat of the matter, but I'll be brief. Give me only 5 minutes, Honorable Speaker. I thank you. Honorable Speaker, we want signages so that it is clear. This road is a county government road. This road is a national government road. This road has been done by Kenya. This road has been done by Kura. This road has been done by KRA. So that we can avoid these issues of, Honorable Speaker, the situations where there can be, corrupt practices and want of accountability over matters roads. Honorable Speaker, lastly, and the most thing we are dealing with, and Honorable Speaker, you will see this in the bill, and I know members have looked at it, is having been, thought that we are adding the counties, we have to reorganize the percentages into which, the roads maintenance fuel levy is to be shared. And so, Honorable Speaker, the bill proposes that counties will get 5% of the total amount of funds collected by under the road maintenance fuel levy, fund. Honorable Speaker, because we have created that new category of sharing, the existing categories have to go down. So counties will get 5%. We are moving the allocation of Kenya, which was initially at 40%, Honorable Speaker, down to 36% to accommodate that share to the counties. Honorable Speaker, we are then moving the allocation, which was going to Kenya Urban Roads Authority, Kura, from 15 to 14%. And Honorable Speaker, we are then moving the allocation, which was initially being accorded to Kenya Rural Roads Authority at 32% to 31% by 1% to accommodate that addition to the county. I know, Honorable Speaker, some would be asking, why are we giving the counties 5? But Honorable Speaker, I'm saying that this is not equitable share. Counties still receive an equitable share, a portion of which will be going to roads. This is money from the collection of fuel levies for the maintenance of roads based on the roads classifications per county, and in consultation with the ministry that is relevant, Honorable Speaker, it is confirmed to us that by classification currently, if you looked at the total, the 5% would secure that the roads falling under the remit of our county governments, Honorable Speaker, are maintained and in a good state for all Kenyans. That section 6 is what I've dealt with under that provision, and is a very critical provision. I would urge the members to accommodate it. Without much ado, Honorable Speaker, I want to thank the members for the opportunity to present this matter on their behalf. And Honorable Speaker, I know I've given enough detail. I want to thank you for the support you've given, Parliament in the exercise of this legislative, act, Honorable Speaker. And I beg to move, and permit me, therefore, having moved, Honorable Speaker, to request that the Honorable Dr. Otiende Amolo, Senior Counsel, seconds. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Proceed, Honorable Amolo.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I rise to second the Kenya Roads Amendment Number 3 Bill of 2025. Madam Speaker, there's an issue that the Honorable Owen Baya raised, and he did not get the benefit of a response. Wherever he is, he will have to know that there's a distinction between learned and educated. Even if you can be a professor of everything, you can only be educated. You will not benefit from being called a learned friend. So the Honorable Owen Baya is educated and is my friend. He's my educated friend, not my learned friend. In fact, in the English tradition, the word learned friend was actually reserved to peers, barrister to barrister. When a barrister was referring to a solicitor, they would say, my friend, not even my learned friend. You must get the history of why lawyers are called learned, then you can start questioning it. But I do not have time to go into it. Suffice it to say, the Honorable Owen Baya, that you are my educated friend, and when we go for tea, I will explain at length why you cannot be my learned friend. Madam Speaker, very briefly, this bill transcends two committees and a caucus. This bill transcends the Justice Committee, it transcends the Roads Committee. But it was found wise to now have it adopted by the caucus because we have the benefit of dealing with those committees and beyond. For indeed, Madam Speaker, as Honorable Kaluma has explained, the bill is a result of consensus and consultation by the executive, by parliament, by the various roads agencies, by the governors, and by everyone who cared to listen. Indeed, even the president was involved in this discussion. Madam Speaker, the bill is necessary because it has to fill the lacuna that was created by the decisions of the court. When the court declared two significant sections of the relevant laws as unconstitutional, and although we chose to appeal it with success,